Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Ross, introduce the champ.
Today we have Cage Warriors featherweight champion. It's big news, Paul Hughes. I know you haven't got a nickname yet, Paul, but will there be one called out this Friday?
Well, I think that is the nickname coined. I don't know if I'll get it called out in the cage, but I think Big News Hughes has fairly stuck around. So, as I always said, you don't choose your nicknames; they choose you, and I got chosen by the GOAT. So here we are.
Yeah, in fairness, it's very rare Conor McGregor chooses someone's nickname, but when that happens, you know what I mean? You sort of have to stick with it, don't you?
You got to take it, mate. You got to. And look, we're the Big News crew at the end of the day as well in the Discord, so we're running with it.
I love it.
Paul, first of all, thanks for joining us, bud. We've managed to squeeze in nearly every show, every fight in the build-up to Cage Warriors 145 London, and it's only fitting to have yourself on to wrap up the whole entire thing. It is fight week, Paul. How are you feeling ahead of Friday's fight?
I feel fantastic, mate. I'm just out of a wee massage, so I'm very chilled out right now. Very content with life. Everything's done. The bags are packed, and yeah, it's just chill time. We leave in the morning, so I'm very happy, very content, and fuck, it feels good to be back in fight week again. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. We spoke to nearly all the fighters on the card in the build-up to this. You can catch all of it on either YouTube or UFC Fight Pass. But Paul, tell us this. They've all said that this is the biggest Cage Warriors card of the year. Do you feel that?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
And obviously, this is a rematch years in the making. Obviously, it was meant to happen earlier on in the year. It's now happening now. Do you feel like this is being built up so big that like the winner is going to turn into a superstar after it?
Well, I already am a superstar, the way I see it. Look, I am, and yeah, but it definitely. I mean, the magnitude of this fight is just so huge. Like for the winner, it's going to be massive. But that will be me, so my star will continue to rise.
Yeah, I can't see anything else. Obviously, we've coined it like the winner of this is going to the UFC, and that's it. Like there's no second guessing that. It has to be done after this one. Tell us this: when the rest of the FII lads were added onto the card, how much of a boost did that give you?
Yeah, mate, that was so good. Like I'm so excited. Not only for their fights, but to have them over and share the entire experience with them. I mean, it's going to be such good fun, and we're going to be rolling deep into London. Like there'll be 6 of us going over, which is the most we've ever had. So I'm so excited and so happy for the lads that they got their opportunity and they stayed ready and got the opportunities because of that. So they really deserve it, and it's going to be a hell of a night for Fight Academy on Friday night.
Paul, obviously last time you were in the Indigo in London, you were there as a spectator. What was the atmosphere like, and how much are you going to absolutely love getting in there into the cage and fighting in it?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the atmosphere that night was unbelievable. It truly was. There was hundreds and hundreds of people that still show up for me as well. Never mind. I mean, the whole buzz.
It was the free bar, Apollo. It was the free bar.
It was the free bar. Yeah. The pre-party's going to be lit again this time, I'll tell you that. But it was an unbelievable event. Jordan and James had a great fight, great walkouts, but it's not going to compare to what's going to happen on Friday night, I'll tell you that.
No, absolutely not. Especially considering the last time you fought Charrier, like the intensity in the arena, the walkout, it was incredible. And like this is a big rematch, and I feel like it's going to be that tenfold. Especially the way the Indigo was laid out, it's like a cauldron, and the cage is on the stage. I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait for it. One thing about this rivalry is it's a bit of a funny one because sometimes there's a few digs at each other, sometimes there's a few compliments. What way does the relationship with Jordan stand these days?
Look, I mean, I have absolutely no problem with the guy at all. He's said some sus things in the past that I had to give a little bit of backlash against, but I mean, I can't dislike a man that's chasing the same dream as me. I don't dislike him at all, but make no mistake about it, like he is trying to take fucking everything that I've worked for and everything that I've sacrificed my entire life from me, right fucking from me on Friday night. And it is just what it is, and he's not gonna he's not going to come close to me on Friday night.
And tell us this, Paul. Has there been any more DMs between you in the last week or two?
We done a wee face-to-face interview there last week, so there was a bit of chit-chat. So there was, but not as much as usual. I've been a little bit more chill. I don't know if I'm just maturing or what's going on, but I used to be always in the DMs just taking a hand. But to be honest, I'm sort of past it at this point. I'm just ready to fight him, if I'm being completely honest.
Paul, obviously, like, there's big stakes on the line for this one. It's probably one of the most high stakes fight there's been, definitely this year, I'd say. But like, how does that come into your mind? Like, I know you like to like meditate and read a lot, like looking into the future, but like knowing that people are talking about the winner of this goes to the UFC, it's not only about the belt. Like, how does that come into your mind? Like how do you visualize this sort of fight being, because it is such a massive fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't nervous and if it wasn't shit myself a bit. I mean, this is fucking everything. Like, this is so unbelievably high stakes. Not only is it high stakes, it's such a high level opponent. Like, you got thousands of fans. Like, I've been fucking. This is a difficult thing to prepare for. Like, this is a massive occasion, but I thrive on that. Like, I always thrive in the big occasions, and as they say, pressure creates diamonds, and it's something that I always remind myself. It's a sort of cliche at this point, but look, I want to be a fucking superstar, and I want to be in the UFC, and I want to open every single door possible for myself and my career, and this is exactly how you do it. It is these high pressure situations, so I absolutely thrive on this pressure, and I see it as a privilege and as a blessing to have this type of pressure at an early point in my career as well. It's truly a blessing, and that's how I choose to view it.
Yeah, from watching the build up as well, Paul, all the content you've been putting out, which has been like shot brilliantly and like done excellently as well. I think that was Roscoe that put that out, fair play. But seeing you go over to Thailand for this training camp and Sanford MMA, they go, what can you explain what way you've treated this training camp like differently compared to every other training camp?
Yeah, well, I mean, it would have been May time that I was in, May and June I was in Thailand, so that was quite a long time ago. The borders, if I'm being honest, that the borders just opened up there, and I have the opportunity I'd been saving throughout COVID to get over again. The borders opened up, and I just got on one of the first planes I could afford, and that was it. I spent about just over a month and a half there. And then I came back, and the entire campus basically spent at home, apart from a 2.5 week stint over at Sanford, which is unbelievable as well. So I got so much different stimulus, so much different looks, and it's been unbelievable. I mean, I literally couldn't have prepared any better. I've got absolutely every single box ticked off. There's not possibly one thing I think I could have added to this camp, and that's just how it's got to be when you're fighting at this level.
It did look like when you were over in Sanford MMA, you missed your pupil, Ian Gary, over there after you cornered him to a world title win. Tell us this: was there much chatter about him while you were over there?
Yeah. I mean, everybody loves him. Everyone knows he's a character. He's a loud guy, so everyone was asking about him. They couldn't believe that I was his friend because I'm a lot more reserved. But yeah, no, a good buzz about Sanford, like.
The same belief in the abilities, though, Paul.
Absolutely.
And were they shocked that you showed up on time? Because I think he's notoriously late.
I can be late a couple of times myself, so I'll say no.
I love it. No, it's great to see you getting around, getting looks, getting different bodies in there. That's what some of the best in the world do. So there's no harm in it. But obviously, you know where home is. What's the chat been like with Shando and with Patrick McAllister and the build up to this one? Are they looking more into Jordan? Or are you still concentrating on yourself?
No, I mean, well, of course, we're always studying the opponent. We're always looking at what we need to look at. But this has been 2 years in the making this match. Like, we know Jordan's game just as he knows my game at this point. There's only so much you can pay into it. I know exactly what I've wanted to do, and it's been basically since we last fought, so not much changes there. In terms of preparation, it's always on the money here. Like, we have a really well-oiled machine here with my team over in Fight Academy and Pat and Shando head coaches. I mean, we've been doing this at this point, like with Joe McColgan as well. So we have a well-oiled machine, like, and yeah, we're about to get another world title on Friday night, and that'll be number 5. for the gym.
And is Joe taking a bit of time off from building the house to give you a few rounds?
That man's been building that house for about 2 years now. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
he's
entire
been
Ireland of Ireland is waiting for him to finish building that house, see if we can get him back in the cage one more time.
I just want him to stop building the house so I don't have to hear him complain about it all the time, if I'm being completely honest. But nah, Joe's been up in the gym. Joe's been helping. He's been a great help this camp, and he's going to be with me on Friday night. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Paul, we had Jordan on in the build up to this fight as well, and he said that he actually believes you won the first time, the fight, the first time you fought. Like, looking back at that fight now, like, how much do you believe you've evolved and Jordan has evolved as a fighter?
I honestly think it's just two completely different fighters. Like, I think he's obviously improved so much. He's got a lot more experience, and then the same as myself. I don't think it's going to be anything like the first fight. I know it'll be a dog fight, but technique-wise, I mean, we're just a different game. We're both at the highest level of sport, like, so it's going to be an incredibly intriguing matchup to watch.
I can't actually wait, man. Like, I actually can't wait. We're going over. I just actually can't fucking wait, man. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, we're going to see it live in person.
Another way we have to act like proper serious, but like, I'm actually buzzing to go over.
Yeah. Also, it's funny that we tell all the fighters, been like, we're going to be buzzing, we're going to be there, and it's like, yeah, so are they in the cage. But Paul, tell us this: you obviously, envision or do a lot of like vision work, and you envision how your career goes and stuff like that. Have you come up with what you're going to say post-fight? Is the post-fight speech, is it pre-written? Do you know what you're going to say on the mic afterwards?
I've got some ideas, but I'll keep them to myself. You'll have to see him fight night.
Is there any chance for a song?
I don't want to know. I want to hear it for the first time there and then.
Any chance of a song? A song, Paul? No.
A song right now, or
no?
Like, well, if you want,
I'll sing for you. I'll sing. No, I've got another good walkout as well. So I'll not say either. Not one person knows apart from myself. I like to keep these things to myself until they come to fruition. So you'll see, Friday night's going to be special.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a show. Cage Warriors 145 London, November 4th, live in the Indigo at the O2 and on UFC Fight Pass. Paul, can you tell us like who's coming over to support you? Because like last time out, you had people flying up from all over the world. Can you tell us who's coming over this time?
Mate, you got the half of Belfast and the half of Derry there. So you do. There's multiple hundreds of people going to be there. So it's going to be hectic.
It's going to be loud, Basmo.
Yeah, all the Paul Hughes jerseys going around.
That's it. The big news crew will be coming out in force.
You better believe it. You better believe. Oh, I still get flashbacks of when you pull back into your driveway with the belt. Like that was some moment. When you come back with an undisputed title, will that feel even better?
I think it's gonna feel unbelievable. I cannot wait for these. These are some unbelievable experiences that I'm not really thinking too much about because I need to go get that dub first, but that's the beauty of it. When I win, these things are going to be there for me. So, yeah, that was a special moment.
Baz, this fight is going to be filled with those special moments. Like, obviously, like ever since I think the first time I saw Paul fight, not the first time I saw a fight, but when I saw him in the BT Sports studio when he came, that walkout became iconic, and then ever since, like each walkout has become more and more iconic. Like when these two guys like stand across each other in the cage, when the first exchange goes down, like these are going to be moments where everyone in the entire arena are going to be on the edge of their seat. No matter whether you're a Paul Hughes fan, you're a Jordan Vucenic fan, whether you're a neutral fan, like this is a fight that you have to see no matter what. Like this is a UFC level fight. And we're going to get to see it, and everyone else is going to get to see it on UFC Fight Pass. Baz, it's going to be incredible.
No, man. Like, I mean, we've been hyping up the event the whole way through. Like, as I said, having all the face-offs on, even the Ken Lochran Luke Shanks one. After that one, I was ready to go. But like Paul, like you tend to name certain moments in your life. Like you tend to give them certain words. Like it's like looking through all your catalog of the series you've put out in the build up to this fight. Like after this fight, have you got like a word that will describe this journey?
This journey in its entirety, or just this sort of camp, this sort of period?
This chapter.
This chapter is redemption. This chapter is redemption, and that's what's on actually embroidered on the new t-shirts, the new Team Hughes t-shirts, and it's there for a reason, because I will be getting my redemption in this man in a few days, and yeah, I'll be saying to the UFC, no doubt.
By the way, those t-shirts are everywhere. We were over in UFC London and we're like, there's 2 lads with Paul Hughes t-shirts.
Mate, honestly, they are everywhere. I've had people saying, here, I seen someone in Spain last week wearing your t-shirt, and then I had someone the week after saying they seen somebody in Italy wearing the same t-shirt. Genuinely, it's madness.
But that's just goes to show the support you have, Paul. You know what I mean? Is there anything you'd like to say to all the big news Hughes fans?
Absolutely. I want to say that Friday night is for y'all. It's for the people that were there for me all year whenever I was going through the shit, injuries, and it really, really is for them Friday night. Like, and I can't express my gratitude enough for the support, and I can just promise a special night on Friday.
Baz, like it's one of those ones where I'm sitting there going, I just cannot wait for it. And I know sometimes, you know, that can be overused, but like, put it this way, I think anytime we've gone to a case, this is one of the first fights that's not a UFC fight that we've got on a flight and went like, we're going over to see that. Like that's how big this fight is. We're like, right, we cannot miss this fight. And when the 3 cards came out, once they put Hughes Lieutenant on it, like, it didn't actually matter what the rest of the cards put on. Like, this was the fight that had to be said. And that's not a knock against anyone else. That just shows in how high regard we hold you 2 guys. Like, this is a quote-unquote grudge match that has to be settled. You know what I mean? I know the grudge might not be personal, but, like, this has to be settled on who is the best featherweight in Cage Warriors.
Absolutely.
So, Paul, I suppose the only question left is, how does Paul Hughes get his hand raised come November 4th?
Look, it's been the same prediction. He'll be asleep within 3 rounds.
There we have it, Basmo. There we have it. Paul, I must say, thanks a million for joining us. We really appreciate the time, especially on Fight Week. Means a lot to us. We can't wait to see you over there. Hopefully, there's another Paul Hughes free bar. It was the best free bar I've ever been to.
It was a great party. It was a great party.
Barry was drinking all the bottles. You know what I mean? I was on the water. Typical. But guys, if you have watched this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification to not miss any more Energized content. If you're watching on UFC Fight Pass, make sure to check it out on the night, and also hit Energized Show with favorites. And as always, stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.